I'm Tony DeMaria, and this is an exciting time for the American College of Cardiology, and particularly for our journals. JACC has given rise to two offspring. We're planning a brand new journal involving cardiovascular imaging and a second one involving interventional cardiology. And so JACC will continue to publish very excellent articles in both of these fields, but those excellent articles that are best suited to a specific focused audience in a specific topic will be very well suited for these new journals. And I have the opportunity to be sitting here with the editors designate of the new journals, Dr. Jagat Narula and Dr. Spencer King. So tell me, Jagat, perhaps you first, what are your goals with the new Journal of Cardiovascular Imaging?
Tony, these are really exciting times for cardiovascular imaging, and as we know that the innovations, rapid innovations in the field of cardiovascular imaging, they are coming to bedside much sooner than ever before. And we do require something which should be able to consolidate all our imaging technologies into one and should be able to provide to the clinician how exactly to tackle the cardiovascular problems. So I think we would like to have this cardiovascular imaging journal, which would be a dynamic, it would be living, it would be predominantly visual multimedia resource, which will essentially be focused on the clinical topics and some of the molecular imaging, which also is readily translatable into the clinical arena, and it would cover all the facets of cardiovascular imaging and would have all the scientific rigors.
So an emphasis on multimodality, perhaps?
Not exactly multimodality. I would rather like to say that it would provide a platform for the ecumenical relationship between all these now distinct and often competing cardiovascular imaging modalities. And I think it will help the clinicians to navigate through this modality parochialism and eventually be able to come to some kind of imaging algorithms based on the strengths of each imaging modality.
And Spencer, interventional cardiology is getting bigger and bigger. What are your goals with the new JACC intervention?
Well, what we hope to do, Tony, is to attract the papers that are out there. There are many, as you know, coming to JACC that are of very high quality and coming to all the other leading journals. We don't plan to put any of those journals out of business, but we want to give a home for the interventional practitioner, be it a cardiologist, a surgeon, radiologist, who have important studies in the field, mostly of interest to interventional cardiologists, perhaps to other members of the college and others outside the college. We're not looking to publish case reports and this sort of thing, but we're looking for things that will really influence practice. So it's going to be a highly clinically oriented journal, but also looking at basic breakthroughs that are going to be implemented into clinical practice in the future. So we're going to be recruiting worldwide for this journal. We think that there's a great amount of information, beautiful papers coming from all parts of the globe, and we're open to submissions from all of the people who really want to contribute to the growth of interventional cardiology.
Good. Well, you mentioned an important point, and that is the acceptance rate. At JACC, as you know, our acceptance rate is 10 to 15%. So we have some awfully good manuscripts that we have to decline purely on a priority basis. We just don't have the pages. So do the two of you see that we can facilitate some of these really good papers that we just can't take, that perhaps would really be well suited for a specialty journal in imaging or intervention?
Well, as far as intervention is concerned, we anticipate some papers coming from JACC, from you, that are excellent papers, but there simply is not room for them. And so this gives an opportunity for an author to say, this paper would be fine for the more specialized journal, JACC Cardiovascular Imaging. On the other hand, we're going to be recruiting directly from authors for submissions. If they feel, as they begin to understand this journal, they say, hey, this is the optimal place for my paper to go. So we'll be recruiting directly, and also we'll be looking at papers that were excellent, but there wasn't room enough in JACC to print them.
Jack?
I agree with Spencer, exactly as he said, that we would be looking for some wonderful articles that you have to decline because of the lack of room, and obviously directly also, so that we could have the best in the field of cardiovascular imaging for us.
Sure, and if we have good reviews, that may facilitate publication. Well, we really look forward. Begin receiving manuscripts July 1, first journal to appear January 1, and then you'll alternate monthly, first imaging, then intervention. We really look forward to seeing those journals.
Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Now, it's important to recognize that for members and for others to obtain these journals, that they will have to sign up for them. And there'll be lots of opportunity to sign up online and through the mail and in other venues, so that everyone who's interested, this is a real opportunity. Sign up and be sure that you receive JACC intervention and JACC cardiovascular imaging.